Hi, this is Miss Anderson's 5th grade social studies class. Today we're going to begin a unit lesson on the Civil War, which began in 1863. The big question for this unit is, what is worth fighting for? Lesson 1, struggles over slavery. Key vocabulary words: plantation, union, states' rights, compromise, Underground Railroad, abolitionist, secession, and Confederacy. 5.4e. Identify the causes of the Civil War, including sectionalism, states' rights, slavery, and the effects of the Civil War, including Reconstruction and the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments to the U.S. Constitution. Your learning objective for today is you will be able to identify the causes of the Civil War. At the end of the unit, the demonstration of learning will be given 5 questions about the causes of Civil War. You will correctly answer 4 out of 5 questions with an 80% accuracy. Before we begin, I want you to think about it. What would you be willing to fight for? Would you be willing to fight for any of the below scenarios? Such as, there is a new student in your class that is being bullied. Would you help? Or your school decides to ban you from eating hot chips. Your school decides to eliminate recess. Do you think any of these are scenarios that you're willing to fight for? A civil war is a war between people who live in the same country. The American Civil War was fought between the North and the South states, and it lasted from 1861 to 1865. The war was triggered by the election of Abraham Lincoln in 1860. What started the Civil War? The North and the South were fighting for freedom, but they disagreed on what freedom meant. The Southern states believed they had the right to own slaves. The Northern states believed the slaves should be free. Southern states wanted to secede, which means leave the United States. The Northern states said that no state could leave the Union, and the South believed that they had the right to secede. Think about it. I want you to take a few moments, about 30 seconds or so. What does freedom mean to you? Pause the video. Sectionalism is also a cause of the Civil War. Differences in geography and industrialization shaped the culture and the economy of the North and South and divided the two regions. The North and South grew apart. The North and South developed different economies and way of life. They also had geographic differences. The warm climate and rich soil of the South made this area ideal for plantations, which are big farms. Southerners made the economic choice to use enslaved African Americans to work on their plantations. The geography of the Northeast provided coal for making steel, so the North had many workers for their factories, versus the South, who didn't have a lot of labor, a lot of workers. Let's check for your understanding. Which geographic feature led the North and South to develop different ways of life before the Civil War? The correct answer: the South had a warm climate that was good for farming. That concludes the end of our lesson 1 for our first podcast. Tune in next week.